Hey guys, today's video is going to be a how to replace the radiator on the DRZ 400. This should be pretty close to the E, the S, and a couple of the different ones. The only difference will be is I don't have cooling fans on my model, so for that you're just going to have to wing it. One of the first steps you want to do in a cooling system repair or service would be to drain the cooling system. For the DRZ 400E, there's a bolt right here that we can undo, and that'll let all the coolant out. If you're like me and you got a bash plate on the bottom where this bolt is and the plate, the coolant will drain down into your bash plate and go all over. So to prevent making a bigger mess than it already is, I'm going to go ahead and remove this skid shield. The tool to take the Allen screws out of the skid plate, we're going to be a 4mm or 4mm Allen, however you want to call it. And there are a few screws. We'll just take you down underneath so you can see here. So you got the one right there, two right there, and the one towards the rear. Go ahead and remove those and set aside. With my skid plate removed, I go ahead and take this 8mm bolt loose right here at the bottom of the water pump, and this should drain the cooling system. Catch that in an approved container, and make sure you guys dispose of your coolant in a correct manner. To help in draining the coolant, I like to pull the radiator cap off and then let it get all out. Next step in radiator replacement, this is just going to be for the right side. The left side should be quite similar, but we're just going to take this upper fastener here and this lower fastener off. And then the one that goes to the radiator, which is aftermarket in my case, to just get this out of the way so we can get access to the radiator bolts and the clamps that are back inside there. Alright, with the side fairing removed, you can see that the tank is now exposed. We just got to remove the fins in front of the radiator and then get to these hoses. And there should be some bolts on the back side. You can see the head right there on one, and there's the other. So for ease of simplicity, what we're going to do next is remove the hose clamps. You don't have to take them all the way off, just loosen them up and then pull the hoses back from the radiator. Do this before you actually loosen the radiator. I wanted to say that this upper hose, it's a little tight with the tank still on, so I went ahead and took the 210s out right there to get access to this hose to get it off. So just a little heads up there. Alright, here is the radiator replacement. This is from Mailers, I believe, right from their website. A little bit thicker brackets, same core count, and everything like that. They do send a radiator cap with it, which is kind of nice, but you can see it's so shiny. We're just gonna, only hardware we're gonna need to transfer are these little rubber bushings or grommets. Put them over into here, but I mean, you guys can see they almost look, they did a really good job at getting everything to match up almost perfectly. Alright, you can see we got the new radiator in. Got those bushings, the grommets transferred over. Looks pretty nice, and you got the upper hose on already. Get the lower hoses on, get the insert back in, and the fairing on. Go ahead and put the bolt back in, or if you're working on a different make or model where you don't have that and you just put your lowest hose back on.
Reattach your radiator shroud with the 2 tank bolts and the 1 bolt that bolts into the radiator itself, and tighten down.
And then from there we'll go ahead and fill the cooling system, fire the bike up, and bleed out the air.